Okay, so as usual, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh, which is the way we begin our session. Um, so we'll look at health today, right? So when we say health, the first question I want to ask everyone is, what do you mean by health? Is it like the absence of an illness? I haven't got diabetes, I haven't got pain, um, I haven't got anything physically wrong with me, I'm able to move. Is that health? Okay, let's go a bit deeper. What is mental health? So if I'm sitting here thinking about, I don't know, harming myself.
The thought process, isn't it?
It's a thought process. Yeah. But if I was to say what is, how will you know you're mentally healthy? How will you know? How do you know? Can you say to yourself, hand on your heart, you know what, I'm mentally spot on? Interesting, isn't it? We don't have a definition. Okay, let's go a bit further. Right? Emotional health. So with mental health, we know all the mental illnesses. Anxiety, depression, OCD, overthinking, and a whole variety of other around this consultation, around these concepts. So we know what the illnesses are, but we don't know what health is. No one tells us that. But as soon as you get ill, as soon as you have anxiety, you run off to the doctor and they say, you're not well, mate. Here's your pill. Here's your pill. Okay? Yet they don't tell you what health is. And people who take these tablets, and I've been working with a number of people who have been on these for various reasons, and they realized that it impacts their sleep. It impacts the appetite. It kind of numbs them. So yeah, is that mental health? Feeling numb? Feeling unable to respond? The whole world can be burning, your house can be burning, but you're kind of numb and zombified? Is that mental health? Let's go further. Emotional health. Do we not even know what it is? How do you know you're emotionally healthy? Well, you know what emotional illnesses are. Emotional illnesses can be self-harm, self-loathing, self-hating, self-criticism. All of these impact your emotional state. The question is, what's emotional health? So I asked you, what do you mean by health? And I've opened 3 parts of it. And for 2 of them, you can't tell me. No one can out that. Why? Because I've been teaching this stuff for 20 years and I'm going to ask this same question to psychiatrists, psychologists, doctors. No one's got an answer. Because you're not taught what health is. You're taught what the symptom is. Okay. Let's look at depression. Mental illness, we say, has emotional components. You feel low, you feel insomnia, can't sleep, can't eat, agitated, anxious, irritable, edgy. All of those are symptoms associated with depression. And you go to your physician and you tell them that this is what you've got. They look at it, look at the severity of it, and they have a couple of scales that they use to measure that. I don't even know if they do that nowadays. And they'll prescribe you a drug. That's it. Okay. They've looked at the symptoms, which is insomnia, irritability, anxiety, all of that. Those are the symptoms, but it ain't the cause. It's not the cause. No medicine out there seems to be addressing the cause, or it doesn't seem to be as evident. So, mental health, we don't know. Emotional health, we don't know. All right, let's look at one other type of health: transpersonal health. Firstly, 99% of the people don't even know what I'm talking about. Okay, if I said spiritual health, does that help? And what does it mean? What does spiritual health mean? Firstly, is there such a thing? And if there is, what does it mean? Spiritual health isn't religion. It isn't about believing in this, that, and the other. It's about, do you feel connected? Do you feel part of something bigger? Do you feel your life has a purpose? Is there a meaning for you being here? These questions sooner or later will arrive. Transpersonal health. Transpersonal health. So, we don't know what mental health is, we don't know what emotional health is, and we have no idea of transpersonal health. So the first thing you've identified, just what I've spoken to you about, is to realize how limited the definition of health is. The second question is, who defines your health? So you go to the doctor and you say to him or her, or they measure your blood pressure and they say, you know what? I think you've got far too much, your blood pressure is too high. Why? Because it should be over 120 over 80 or whatever. It's 140 over 90. But you say, I feel fantastic. Never felt better in my life. Who's in charge of your health? You or the doctor? And the doctor says, well, here's a little tab. This will help you bring it down to the acceptable level that we've all been taught is what you should be, your normality. Doesn't matter if you're male, female, black, white, blue, green. Doesn't matter. You have to fit in this criteria. And if you don't fit in this criteria, there's something wrong with you and you need a medicine. Ask yourself the question, who's in charge of your health? How you feel or how someone else tells you you should be feeling? Because there are many people I've come across who, if you look at them, maybe some people have had, one particular individual had cancer. And the card that she wrote to me just before she passed away, a few days before she passed away, never felt better, Dav. Never felt better. And then there are those who are perfectly healthy. Physically, nothing wrong with them. But they just moan. Constantly irritated. Constantly angry at the world. Is that health? Is that mentally healthy? Do you understand where I'm going with this? Who's in charge of your health? Who? And if you give the most precious thing you have, which is your health, and no one is entitled to health, no one. It's a gift. You didn't go somewhere and fight for your health. Like, you fight for your votes. Hey, I want health, I want health. No, it doesn't work like that. It's a gift that you bestowed upon you without asking. Without asking. And all you've got to do is look after the gift. But we don't. Because we think the body is a machine. And we treat it like a machine, like you treat your Hoover. Whack it into a corner, do what you want with it. That's what you do with your body, isn't it? nonsense, put all those pizzas into yourselves or whatever else. We don't care. Sit in front of TV 24/7 or screens 24/7. First thing you do when you wake up in the morning is pick up your phone, make sure that blue light goes through your eyes, disrupts your melanin level so you can't sleep. Put routers next to your where you sleep or where you eat, and then tell people, oh, you know what, I'm really feeling down. Don't realize what you're doing to yourself. Don't realize that. And you're not educated into that. No one is. Because if you're educated about that, you wouldn't eat some of the nonsense that's out there. And you certainly wouldn't listen to a lot of the nonsense out there. So, a couple of days ago, headline on a national newspaper, a very, very famous model um, who was diagnosed with cancer decided not to go down the chemotherapy route, etc., and went down the route of detox, this, that, and the other, some kind of holistic space. And guess what? She's all right. She's back to health. And the headline was how irresponsible this woman is. So if you don't take the drugs, you are irresponsible. What's the message? The message is that your body's a machine. The message is if there's any problem with it, don't let it fix itself. Just take some tablets to suppress the pain. That's all it's doing. It's suppressing it. It ain't fixing it. And the same thing is with mental space, and the same thing is with emotional space. You go in there with anxiety. So let me give an example. Someone recently shared this story with me that they were in a situation where a manager who they're subservient to was a little bit aggressive with them, made them ridicule them, made them feel very, very isolated and critical, self-critical or self-judgmental. And as a result, heart rate increased, blood pressure increased, glucose increased. And this individual, reporting it to the doctor, what was the response? Well, there's a little medicine you can take to stop that. But not realizing that that individual felt threatened in that moment. And this was the natural response when you feel threatened. Think about it. You see, you may be in a situation where someone is going off on one. You try and hold it together, but inside the heart rate beats up, the glucose comes up, the mouth goes dry. Why? Because the psychophysiology, what your mind is interpreting, is kicking off a system, and that system is preparing you for two things: flight or fight. And which is why all glucose goes everywhere, adrenaline goes everywhere, cortisol goes everywhere, and the heart rate is fast. I'm ready to do my business. It's not your ill. It's not that you're ill. And the moment you accept that, the moment you realize this is what it means to be alive, up and down, what you've got to learn is the middle route. Sometimes you'll go here, sometimes you'll go there. How do I bring myself to the balance? You can't just say, I want to be happy 24/7. To do that, you can get a lobotomy or something in your mind, and you'll be happy 24/7, sitting there where people will be feeding you. All is good. Yeah. If you're that interested in happiness, right? But if we begin to realize to be human is to experience both sides. What we've got to learn is when first recognize which side you're experiencing. Recognize it. Once you recognize it, then learn how to bring yourself to balance. And to bring yourself to balance is simple. It's always simple. Life is simple, but we want to complicate it. To bring yourself to balance emotionally or mentally, which will then impact your physiology, your body, is to come to the present moment. That's it. And how do you do that? By focusing on things that are happening right now, right in the moment of now. Breath, sound, sensations, those things are tangible. Sensations are tangible, sound is tangible, breath is ever present. Trying to work out what your thoughts are doing and your emotional states, it ain't going to work. You can never empty your mind, but you can learn to dissociate yourself from your story. All mental illness, anxiety, stress, I'm not going into personality board disorders or anything like that, but common ones, anxiety, etc., are effectively just your body responding to the circumstances. It's not like you're ill, but you need to learn how to come out of it. And you need to learn what is the motivator, what's the trigger, what's the root of it. To address the root of it, we need to learn how to look at ourselves, and that's what meditation helps us do. So how do we recharge our body? How do we re-energize it? But to re-energize our body, we have to first stop the things that are draining it. And what is draining it? Oh, what's going to happen tomorrow? Will I get my job? Will I get my pay rise? Did this happen? Will this happen? Will this happen? That's what will drain it. Your Wi-Fi will drain it. Your mobile phone will drain it. I give this up an experiment for every one of you to try. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, do not look at your phone for 20 minutes. Just for 20 minutes. And see what kind of a day you have. Try that for 2 or 3 days. Yeah? I know the phone is like Linus's blanket, and we can't be without it. But having said that, it's important to realize what it does to you. Right? So your mobile phone has blue light. Your blue light, when it goes through your eyes into your inner space, it stops something called melanin. Melanin impacts your sleep. So people who are there looking at their phone in the middle of the night and thinking, oh, you know what, I don't get a good night's sleep. Well, of course you're not going to. Keep banging your head in the wall, you're going to get a headache. No, it's the same thing here. Learn the impact of these things. And because we are not taught this stuff, we never know what we're doing to ourselves. Exactly like what they did with the cigarettes. Like what they're doing with the vape stuff now. Same thing. Yeah, it's all safe. It's all safe. Well, let's see in about 10 years' time how safe it is. No? So we have to be mindful. When mindful ain't about meditation, mindfulness is also ensuring that you don't let this nonsense affect you. Don't allow these things to engage you, these stories to overwhelm you. But to get there, we have to have practice. And to have practice, we need commitment, and we need to have someone who's able to teach us and support us as we are learning. Yeah. So to regain energy, to regain health, look at all the things that are draining it away. Yeah. Look at all things that nourish you, and look at all the things that drain you. Just make a list tomorrow morning or tonight. Go home, make a list. What you do from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. And then put against each thing that you do the letter P or the letter N. N is that which is negative and drains me. P is that which is positive and charges me. Learn to do those things which are positive. Learn to avoid those things which drain you. So, for example, very simple example. So, one of the individuals I once worked with, the most draining thing for him, and he was a very senior human being in his corporation, was that he found sitting in the traffic really draining. And being in London, if like hour, 2 hours is neither here nor there. So introduced him to the idea of listening to podcasts. And now, or when I last saw him, or when I last did whatever with him, it was the best time of the day for him. Because he enjoyed listening to the podcast in something he's interested in, time on his own, in his own car. Learn to change things that drain you into things that may give you a little bit of an uplift. Yeah? Enough for today? Enough for today. Okay.
We
So,
can write in one thing that's positive every day.
excellent.
Put them in a box.
Excellent.
Like we used to.
Yeah.
And it's really difficult because you can think of so many negative things that happen throughout the day. And I
Yes.
said to Megan, you will find it really hard when you try and look at what was something that was really positive today that you can write about.
Sure.
And it becomes easier over
Easier.
time, doesn't it?
So think of it this way. So I'm going to make it a little bit crass, but it'll work. Yeah. Think about stuck in traffic, desperate to go to the loo. How good is it to get to the loo? Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? Good things happen. We just fail to see them. Yeah. We just fail to see them. Coming back from work, absolutely famished, and there's a pizza on the table. How good is that? Or a cup of coffee in the morning, or a warm shower. Start looking at things which are ordinary, and you will find that most of them are quite pleasant. Yeah. It's normally other people's stuff that is a bit unpleasant. But your life is normally pretty good, isn't it? Yeah. You'd actually think after doing something like that, you probably think, actually, you know what, I should be really happy. My life is fantastic. And you also identify the things that actually drain you. And that's a really important part of the exercise because we don't think that. We're always fighting against it, but we don't list it. And a lot of time it's people. And then you just learn who to avoid. Okay. So, okay, let's go with our meditation as usual. And so, as ever, we always begin with our posture. And you want to make sure the back is upright, shoulders are pulled back, eyes are closed, and you tuck your chin in slightly. Okay. And it's very deliberate. We want to sit in a way, there's a level of dignity about us being human, and we feel comfortable, and there's no strain or distress or discomfort in the body. So once you've got your posture, you draw a breath in and you notice the posture itself. And you notice if there's any discomfort in the body itself. So there could be pains, there could be a tightness, an itch. And we don't want to think about it. We just want to notice what's going on in the body. So you locate it. And now we're going to set our intention. And our intention is simply to be present to ourselves and to find out what's going on with us right this moment. What's going on with me? And to do this, we're going to look at our sensations to begin with. And to help us focus on our sensations, we will first look at all the senses. So bring your focus now towards your eyes. And as you bring your focus towards your eyes, you may notice darkness. So I just want you to become aware of your field of vision or awareness. What is it that you have awareness of? And now moving from our field of vision, we begin to listen to the sounds around us. Shifting our focus from our vision to listening. And again, we're not listening for anything, we're just listening. Listening. And then from listening, we bring our focus now beneath our nose. And as the breath comes in, see if you can notice an aroma. Things that are happening in the present moment. And then shifting from our focus, from our aroma, we move our focus to our mouth. And we notice if there's a taste in the mouth itself. Allowing our tongue to relax. And then shifting our focus now to sensations. And to do this, you're going to imagine a hula hoop above your head. And as this hoop comes down, it begins to scan your body for sensations. All the way down. And if you find that you started thinking, go back to my voice. Begin the body scan, moving from the top of your head, moving down. What sensations are present and where are they? So what could be a pain, a tightness, an itch, and the location, if there is one. Now bringing your focus beneath your nose, and the next breath comes in, you're going to bring your focus within yourself. So you're going to look at how you're feeling at this moment. And the feeling is just simply, do I feel settled or do I feel a little bit unsettled? Do I feel anxious or do I feel calm? How do I feel within myself? And then just take a moment to notice if there's anything dominant on your mind. And now bringing your focus to the seat you're on. And you want to notice how held you are, how supported you are. In other words, you can afford to relax a little bit. You are held in place, you're not going to fall. You're always held in place. Notice where the body makes contact with your chair or the floor, the sensations that are present in the body itself. Sensations that are present right now. So using those sensations, we move our focus from those sensations upwards. So we become aware of our hips. And then gently move your focus down your thighs. And as you move your focus down your thighs, you're looking for sensations. Pain, ache, tightness, itch. And then from your knees, you move down towards your ankles. Notice your feet. And then noticing the soles of your feet. And you want to hold your focus there for a short while. Notice that your back is straight and upright. And now we're going to bring the focus from our lower back, gently moving up towards the middle back. Again, remember you're looking for sensations. A very deliberate, intentional focus. And then from the middle back, we move up towards the shoulder blades. Notice your shoulders. And then from your shoulders, you allow your awareness to move down towards your elbows. From our elbows, we move down to the wrists. And now notice the palms of your hands. Moving your focus to your fingers. Can you notice the tips of your fingers? And then gently bring your focus towards your eyes. And once again, notice the darkness. Recognizing that you are awareness. You have awareness of darkness at the moment. And as you breathe out, you allow your eyes to soften. And on the next breath in, bringing your focus towards your lips. And then from your lips, you move your focus within your mouth. Noticing the sensations on the roof of your mouth, on the inside cheeks. And then once again, allow your tongue to soften. Allow your jaw to soften. And then as you breathe out, you allow your face to soften. Next breath in, once again, become aware of your whole body as best as you can. Noticing anything that's dominant, anything that draws your attention, a pain, a tightness, an ache, an itch. And now gently bring your focus beneath your nose and begin to watch your breath. Your focus just beneath your nose, allowing the breath to breathe by itself. And if your focus drifts from your breath, notice where it goes, bring it back to your breath. Stay with your breath. No matter where your focus is distracted, always bring it back to your breath. Watching the in-breath moving in, watching the out-breath moving in. Notice how the breath breathes by itself. Stay with your breath. Stay with your breath. On your next breath in, gently bring your focus within yourself, becoming aware of what's going on within you. And hold your focus at your chest. Notice how the breath moves in, the chest expands, and how the chest relaxes and the breath moves out. Your focus is on your chest. Your focus is on your chest, and you begin to notice the little changes as the breath moves in and the breath moves out. The subtle sensations around your ribs. Now you're going to bring your focus a bit deeper into yourself, where your heart is. And you're going to try and hold it there, waiting. Waiting to notice how you're actually feeling. Do you feel peaceful? Do you feel settled? Do you feel anxious, unsettled? As you hold your focus right in the center, where your heart is. And then on your next breath out, you're going to open your awareness to all the sounds around you. And just begin to listen. Listening to the sounds which are close to you. And if there's no sound, notice that you can listen to the silence itself. listening. When you're ready, bring your focus just beneath your nose, sitting with your breath in silence. Stay with your breath. Now gently following your out breath all the way till the end. You want to notice exactly when it stops. Allowing your breath to breathe by itself, following your out breath all the way till the end. Now bringing your focus to the sound of your breath. Does the in-breath sound the same as the out-breath? Stay with your breath, listening to the in-breath, listening to the out-breath. Stay with your breath. Remember, you're listening to your breath. Notice how you're breathing now. Does your breath flow smoothly, or does it feel rough? Does your breath feel long, or does it feel short? Next breath out, expand your awareness to become aware of the whole body once again, as best as you can. And as you become aware of your body, notice if there's any discomfort anywhere. Could be a pain, could be an ache, could be a tightness, an itch. Taking a moment to notice how you're feeling within yourself. Does this moment feel comfortable? Does it feel healthy? Do you feel safe? Is there an absence of anxiety, fear? Notice your experience. Bringing your focus now to the seat you're on. Once again, notice how well you're supported and held in place. Sensations where your chair, your seat makes contact with you. And then just to help us come back to our body, we're going to use those sensations. Follow the same process. Move your focus up towards your hips. And then gently drift this focus down your thighs towards your knees. Sensing your thighs all the way down to the knees. Coming back to your body. And then from our knees, we move down to the ankles. Notice the feet. And then once again, we get to the soles of the feet. And we hold our focus there for a short while. Bringing your focus back to the seat you're on. Notice your back is straight, upright. Shoulders, arms, hands are comfortable. Notice your eyes are still closed, and your mouth is closed, and your face is relaxed. Bringing your focus back to your breath. And now, as the breath moves in, you can sense your body. As the breath moves out, you can sense your body. Breathing in, you feel well. Breathing out, you feel well. Notice your experience. So this isn't just make-believe. Notice your experience. Breathing in, I sense my body. Breathing out, I sense my body. Breathing in, I feel calm. Breathing out, I feel calm. And now just to bring the intention to smile. And now allow this energy to spread through the body if you can. Just the intention to smile. And slowly the warmth goes throughout the body. And then when you hear the next bell, use this bell to draw some slow, deep breaths in, and in your own good time, gently opening your eyes.